welcome back to Chasing Trophies. Today I look like the guest and Fez looks like the host. Yeah, man, what a day we had. Under 19 World Cup, Team India, six-time champions. What an innings from Mr. Sooryavanshi. I don't have words, but I still will make up words to describe that innings. It was destructive, monstrous, incredible, unbelievable. I've never seen an innings like that in a World Cup final from any sort. He was just crazy, man. 218 strike rate, smashing 175, just like Kapil Dev did versus Zimbabwe in '83. But this was just in 80 balls, man. What an innings! And India losing the Asia Cup final. We said that they need to learn from that, and they did. They beat the England team, mind you, were very strong, and you saw England were on course to chase 400, but always 400 is going to be difficult. But I think maybe on paper for the first time, India weren't the strongest team, but they have won the World Cup. Fez, man, congratulations to you, and what a performance.
Bhai, incredible, bhai. Like they're just 19, under 19, not even 19, they're under 19, and the mindset that they have, right? Like it's incredible. Jo strength leke chal rahe. Undefeated in the whole group stages. They were the only team to beat England in the groups, and they managed to do it flawlessly. Ayush Matre, we've been critical of his batting. थोड़ा बहुत भी इसलिए कि नहीं भाई ने सूर्यवंशी बनने जाता ये करने जाता, but leadership wise he did make some good bowling changes. He kept trust on his bowlers. Field change भी जो करा, through which the breakthrough came in eventually, जो partnership build हो रही थी top order में, and then back to back 4 wickets really put it in place for India. But apart from that, the whole tournament, your top order, your middle order in patches, like they've been very linked very well. Like आपके middle में जो विहान और वेदांत है, कुंडू हैं, all the way till Ambrish, the batting depth that you have in the squad. The bowlers, Henel Patel was flawless. Like he was incredible every time picking up the wickets when required. So it was a very good balanced team, and they never got ahead of themselves. That's what I liked about this Indian team. They always kept a low profile. They didn't try to overly excite. What we saw in the Asia Cup, they were getting flustered because थोड़ा बहुत inexperience दिख रहा था हमारे को, वहाँ पे घस ले रहे थे. Emotion got the better of some players on that. But in the World Cup, I think they came with a more sounder mind, a more let's take it for at one step at a time. And against Pakistan also they didn't lose their cool. Against anyone they didn't lose their cool. They just went about their business. And sixth under 19 champions. So that shows the quality that India possesses. Bhai, like हम बात करते, and I think India right now, it looks like this team right now that we've seen. We always do see amazing teams in the under 9, but it's probably one of the more better teams that we've seen in the recent T20 under 19 squad.
Yeah, 100%. Like for me, I'll be very honest with you. I still feel the other teams were there were some on India's level, as in particular England, but even Australia, Pakistan, I think were close to India's level. Where you remember the Shubman Gill years, the Prithvi Shaw years. That time India were a cut ahead, but here it wasn't that easy. That's why I think this win should be celebrated even more. I mean, every win should be celebrated, but I was not 100% expecting India to win. Normally, when I go to under 19 World Cups, I feel India is going to win. Even the last one, which they lost in the final, but this time around, I think they showed that courage. They showed that even in pressure situations, they'll be clutch. And for that 15-year-old to score an inning like that in a final, because this for him, you have to understand, is the biggest day of his life. Like going into this day, no matter what, like he hasn't seen much of the world. He's only 50. He's half our age, man. Just think about, let that sink in. So for him to score like that and make sure that England, because look, if India made 320, 350, this game was very, very much in England's hands. Right.
Yes.
So we got to understand that like this innings took the game away from England, and was one inning. And obviously, I'm going to talk about the other guys as well, but it's just incredible what they did. And I was pleasantly surprised. England, shout out to them. They've had some crazy players, man. Their captain, Rue, he's going to be the next Harry Brook. He's going to be someone who will be playing for England for sure. Just watch out for them.
England was the only team, Musaba, who was giving India को काफी tough time. They, India England एक matches काफी close हुए. Red ball में भी, white ball में भी. Jonathan, like Rue, the captain, जो आप mention करे, he was very good. He had very good numbers as well.
And the Falconator, man, the 100 he scored.
I was worried, भाई ने लेके चले आ रहा game को with the other guy, the guy who was playing relatively slowly, but इन्हें एक end से खड़ के दे कर रहा था. 150 हो गया था, 96 deliveries or something. So they were bringing it to a T20 thing, but the only thing that went against them was that back-to-back collapse जो हुआ उनका. And England in general, even their under 19 team is one to look out for in the future. I think Australia also had a couple of names that you suggested in the players to watch out. Their captain Oliver Peat. उसके बाद आपके South Africa में काफी players थे. So coming out of all of these and managing to win the championship, it was a very competitive T20 World Cup. It looks like India is. There were very close games that we saw. Even the England Australia, their captain almost brought it close. India as well, like. against Afghanistan एक time पे फैसल जो 100 मारे, I think we were all like a little worried 300 हो गया था, but again the courage, the display of attacking threat India possessed right from the top order. And then I know I'm going to leave it for you to just tell us how Aaron George the player was this tournament, how he stood, and then again the names that we mentioned, Bihan, Vedant, and all of these guys, a very good collection of youngsters that and Sooryavanshi के बारे में तो भाई since Gujarat Titans, that game that we saw him from there on, मुसावा खाली उसके performances देखते जाओ, Asia Cup, Rising Asia Cup, the next match immediately after the Gujarat Titans, he's just been very flawless, man. Like and the best thing is the coach, this is where you got to credit him, that he allowed him to play how he is. Usually हम इंडिया में ऐसा एकाध कुछ हुआ तो नहीं भाई तू अब स्टाइल चेंज कर ले, ये मत कर, वो कर ले, but they let him be how he was.
Spot on. Because the thing is, final में उन्हें जैसा खेला पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ, right? Like he hit 3-4 sixes and we lost the game. अब किस्मत देखो ने वैसी खेला, आज भी out हो सकता था. He could have got out at any time, but he won you the game. So I think very good point by you. Excellent point that the coaches was a Kanetkar, Joshi, all of them for backing him like that and letting him play his natural game. Unbelievable. And in general, I think they're very aggressive today. Ayush Matre, right? Like he's been criticized a lot for trying to hit too quickly and trying to match Sooryavanshi. So what did he do? He took 10 deliveries, he made 3 runs, 4 runs. But then he started hitting 2 once he understood कि भाई ये wicket अच्छी है. So it was a very mature performance from the captain as well. And that partnership was key because you lost Aaron George early today. We saw what he did in the semi-final. And it could have been like, if they lost a couple of wickets, more wickets in the power play, India would have been in a tough spot because मेरे हिसाब से between 300 and 350 would have been chaseable. 400 was always going to be tough. I was getting messages, people getting scared about 400, but it was never going to happen. At the end, it was a 100-run victory, very convincing, and this will be memorable. This win, particular because of that innings, will be very, very memorable, man.
Very, very memorable indeed. And again, like we said, like the batting depth, the way everybody took responsibility, the bowlers at times, एक time they were running away with the game. Then you got bowlers who took the catch, and the fielders, like the fielding unit also was much better than what we were seeing in the past. So they just learned from their mistakes, and it all came together. And we were all expecting India to do very well, winning, like you said, they were competitive teams in South Africa, England, Australia, and Pakistan as well. But coming out of that and winning it, Ayush Matre, the captain, will give him a lot of confidence. But Sooryavanshi in this IPL is going to be very, very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, Rajasthan Royals have hit a jackpot, gold, like gold dust, man. Like how what we've done with Abhishek, they've gotten a very early version of that.
Yeah,
look, he's going to have his flaws and stuff, but whichever I think that he might leave Rajasthan Royals if he continues like this. But even if he doesn't, whatever team you're in, you have to keep patient with this guy because he's going to frustrate you. But the shots that he was hitting, man, kaisa marta bhai, he was bludgeoning the ball, like.
And the best thing in the Savai, he's getting under the line of the ball, like he's able to judge the length and ball under bat, like what
and he's picking the length so quickly, and he knows exactly where he's going to hit it. The timing is unbelievable, and he's got the areas covered. It's not just he's slogging it. He's hitting straight shots as well. He's timing the ball, giving it over covers. He's got all the areas sorted. It was an unbelievable innings. Unlucky dismissal. Otherwise, we would have seen a double 100 today. There was no doubt, man. Because 20 over when he hit that much. Imagine he batted like another 10 overs. He would have got close to 300 also if he batted like that.
500 was on the card today. The way we were going, like it just looked like
500. If you saw the projected scores when he was batting on the 22nd over, they were showing 570, 600, 400. It was like those were the projected scores at that time. And this is modern day cricket. We have to understand this is how cricket is going. And we saw some exceptional talent in this World Cup, and that it'll take time. But I think in the next 6 years we will see these players come in and do well. Not immediately, but in the next 6 years, you'll see these guys do well. But I think that pretty much wraps it up. A very successful World Cup from an India point of view, but overall, it was a good World Cup and I enjoyed it. It was in Zimbabwe. In the beginning, weather was an issue, but I think they did a nice job. Harare is that kind of, it's a classic ground for us. It's an OG ground. So good to see matches over there. And thank you everybody for joining. We're going to shift from the Under-19 to the T20 World Cup. So do stay tuned. Thank you, Faiz, as well. Really appreciate it. And make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, and stick to chasing trophies.